Chattanooga Radio. I'm your host, Jillian Collins, local artist. I'm here to talk to you about art, Chattanooga, and how about artists all over Chattanooga and beyond to share their passion, their dream, and as we all go on this journey with our arts to connect one another and to help those in Chattanooga who want to hear or see the arts, learning where, who, how, and why. So I have today Hugh Allen.
Thank you, Jill. How are you today?
I'm doing well, Hugh. How about yourself?
Oh, pretty good. A little tired today, but had a really good weekend.
That's great. You had a good show, good shows.
Oh, yeah. We did a really good show Saturday night over in Cleveland, and we had a really good turnout and had a lot of fun.
That's great. So, things have been moving along for your band, you and the Renegades.
Oh, absolutely. We've just kept progressing and kept progressing. We've got a lot of new fans, a lot of new followers, and we're just having the time of our lives.
Yeah, living the dream, right?
Oh, yeah. I got to live that dream.
Got to try. So,
that's right.
It can wear you out a little bit, but the excitement when you're up there, it's got to feed your passion and your desire to keep going. And
absolutely. Well, I figure the way I look at it is it doesn't matter where I'm singing to 10 people or 1,000 people. If I can get somebody, to really enjoy the music and they walk out with a smile on their face, then I've done the job.
That's the thing. And I know when I heard you guys play, I was dancing and having a great time.
Oh, yeah.
No problem with dancing music there.
No, not at all. Yeah. We play a lot of old classic country, Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, Merle Haggard. We're trying to bring the country back, the old style country, and people are really enjoying it. They're really liking our style, and hey, as long as people are continuing to like it, we're going to continue to perform it.
Yeah, I was raised in the North, so I really didn't have any country music background. But now that I've been down in Chattanooga for 4 years, I've definitely come to appreciate a lot of the country music.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a transition for us rock and roll people.
Hey, now, there's nothing wrong with rock and roll.
Right?
I'm a rock and roller at heart, so I sing country music, but I'm a rock and roller at heart.
Really? You listen to rock and roll?
Oh, yeah, I listen to a lot of rock and roll. Your old style 80s. Oh, your heavy metal. Oh, yes.
All right. Yep, that's the thing we grew up on, a lot of us, and I don't even know ages here, but I know, I grew up with initially Black Sabbath and things like that, and then
Osbourne,
ZZ Top and Pink Floyd,
Metallica, yeah. Poison.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And back in the day, when I don't know, I think the music from those eras is really special.
Oh yeah. Well, to me, that was the best rock and roll days. I mean, that was the hair bands. That was the really good upbeat rock and roll. Ozzy Osbourne. Who can forget Ozzy Osbourne? He's just a legend. But yeah, I grew up on that kind of music, and growing up as a kid, my mother and father, they played a lot of your Johnny Cash. They played, Merle Haggard, George Jones. And I grew up on that, but, as a teenager, I kind of got into the rebellious stage and started listening to the rock and roll. So, I'm a rock and roller at heart. Country music, I sing, but rock and roll, that's what I grew up on.
Seems like every generation has the division of music, I know my parents felt the rock and roll was pretty evil, and they were shocked by it and all of this, and now the music is taking another shift. Mm-hmm. And the current generation's music is very different than what I was accustomed to.
Exactly.
And I don't necessarily respond to it so much, but one of my friends said, well, they're not going to have the songs like we do, the memories, that trigger the memories. These songs aren't going to do that. And I said, no, that's not true. When you live through it and that's your musical background, those songs are going to trigger their memories. It's no different.
Absolutely. Well, for instance, like back in the 80s, I'll give you a prime example. Right off the top of my head, Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne. Everybody.
Traffic, news, and information.
So Ozzy Osbourne, Crazy Train.
Oh yeah, that was one of the greatest songs. And when that would come on the radio, everybody would just go crazy and turn the radio up, and crank it up, and back then everybody had the long hair and everybody would headbang, and it was just awesome. That's memories that about back then and you hear, like I say, so, people like Ozzy, Poison, um, um, Metallica, stuff like that.
So you like the heavy metal rock?
Oh yeah, I love the heavy metal. Like I said, I'm a heavy metal rocker at heart, but country music is what I sing.
Right. So have you been you've been performing quite a bit, and you've been promoting your band a lot, and it seems like you've been gaining some momentum. Yes,
gaining a lot of momentum. There's still a long way to go, a long road ahead of us, and we're trying to get up there to where we want to be. It's a lot of bumps in the road, but we overcome them bumps and we continue to push forward. I've got a great group of guys. I couldn't ask for better guys. They stand behind me. They support me. I support them. We support each other. We make a great team, and we all believe in each other, and we feel that, no matter what, we're not going to give up. I mean, we're going to push forward, and that's the name of the game, pushing forward. Because you can't give up your dreams. You have to follow them. If you give up, then you will never achieve your dreams.
Right.
So you just, if you hit a bump in the road and you hit a hard time, you just sit back, take a deep breath, reevaluate your plans, and just keep moving forward.
It's about all we can do, and we're all going to have the highs and lows. But I've been following, you on the Renegades, and it seems I wasn't aware of your band that much before your first interview on here. And I've noticed your marketing, is gaining momentum. You've had a lot of responses and growth on your media pages, and you're personally, working your marketing and along with your music.
Exactly. Well, social media is the greatest tool that anybody can have. Back, say, 20 years ago, we didn't have social media. And, you pretty much had to do the old methods of putting flyers out, hoping that people would come see you. Now that social media is in play, I mean, it's a very, very valuable tool. And, if you use it to your advantage and use it the right way, it can be your best friend. But let me caution that also social media can be your worst enemy. Because if you post something that's, that's people, that offends people, it can really hurt you. So you have to be careful with it. But yes, social media, we've used it a lot. We've gained momentum. We've gained fans. We've gained followers. People are keeping up with us. We have actually gained quite a few dedicated fans that come out to every one of our shows, and that group is getting bigger.
Yeah, that's because you sound great. It's fun. The band, when I was there, I just had a great time, and I love dancing. And I love that where you were playing at the VFW Hall has a huge dance floor.
Oh, yes.
And that's kind of rare in Chattanooga. A lot of our dancing here is very small dance floors, and we still dance. But, I love the good dancing music, the tone of the band, the attitude of you guys, and I encourage everyone to go check out Hugh and the Renegades because it's going to be fun.
Oh, absolutely.
We're going to have fun.
Yeah, we have a good time. We cut up, we pick and play, and then when we're done with, when we're done with the set, we take a break, we get into the crowd, we talk to people, we shake people's hands, thank them for coming out, and that's what it is. That's what it takes. You have to be fan friendly. You have to get along with the people. You have to let people know that you're interested.
I saw you strutting around and then going into the audience while you were still playing,
yeah.
Visiting there. I think people like that, Hugh. And I've seen other bands that do that. And when a player or singer goes into the audience and interacts, it just draws the crowd more into the music.
Absolutely.
They feel like they're a part of it.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll bring my tambourine next time.
Hey, bring that tambourine. We'll let you get on stage, and hey, if you want to sing a song, I'll let you do that too.
Oh boy, it's been a while since I sang a song, but used to sing in a band when I was 14.
Oh, really? What was
that was only a couple of years ago. I don't remember.
Only a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
What are you, 21 now?
Sure, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And holding, yes. Yeah. I'll go 31 and holding.
Okay, 31. We'll go with
I don't even remember if we had a name at that point, but I had an electric guitar that I got when I was 12, and I played that a little bit, but then I got curious and took it apart and could never put it back together.
I did the same thing. I had my brother got me a guitar and handed it to me, and about a month later, I had it all in pieces, and he come out and he goes, Hugh, what did you do?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was bummed when that happened to me because I thought, I don't know what I was thinking. I just wanted to see how it worked. And, I had an amp and everything, and I was like 12. Take my guitar apart and it's gone, basically, and you can't really replace it when you're 12.
Right.
So I went to acoustic, and I played for a lot of years until I came to the point where I either had to put a lot more into the guitar and singing or my visual arts, and visual arts is so strong with me. that I couldn't give to both of them. Some people have that multifaceted ability.
Mm-hmm.
I had to just drop that because I was stronger in the visual arts. So, but music is, to me, the art form that reaches the most people for the longest periods of time at once.
Exactly. And Jill, you are an exceptional artist. I've seen a lot of your work, and I'm just fascinated with your artwork. And and it all goes hand in hand. Music, art, painting, whatever you want to call it, it all goes hand in hand. It's all art, and the goal is to draw people in and get them excited, get them interested. And people love art. I mean, it's just like music. In our last show, music has been with us through the beginning of time, and it's always been something that, touches people's hearts. It touches people's souls. It brings back memories. And art is the same thing. So, it all goes hand in hand together. And if you enjoy doing it and you are interested in doing it, then pursue it. I mean, because it's going to benefit you, maybe not financially, but it's going to benefit you emotionally in the long run.
Right. It's funny. I've sold a lot of work over my time, and once I reviewed that, I was kind of surprised. But I guess it would be like, if no one came to hear you, you wouldn't stop singing.
No.
Same thing with visual art. If no one ever, of course we want the energy of the response, and we do it to get and give responses to build people's spirits and to share what's going on in our heart and mind. But if I had no one interested in my work, I could still not stop painting.
Exactly. Well, that's like me. I mean, it's like I said earlier, it wouldn't matter to me if I played in front of 5 people or 5,000 people, even at home. I enjoy sitting at home by myself, picking up my guitar and just playing a couple of tunes, and there's nobody in the room with me. And it doesn't bother me because I'm not doing it for, the money or to get fame or fortune. I'm doing it because it's a passion. I love it. It soothes me to be able to perform and sing, whether it be by myself or whether it be in front of a crowd. That's the whole purpose of me doing it. And I'm pretty sure it's the purpose of everyone that does music or art is they're doing it for the passion.
Right. And it's funny you said that, because when I did play guitar the most, it was at home alone, where I could sing with no holding back, no fear. And for me, Hugh, it was a very spiritual experience when I sang by myself at home. I always felt very close to the creator, to the universe, and that I considered like literally worship time. When I'm alone, playing and singing, there's something special about that. You're not doing it for anyone else. It's your heart and soul just going out to the universe.
Exactly. Well, for instance, a lot of people, everybody sings at home, and you hear a lot of people, I don't know how to sing. Everybody can sing. Just because you feel that you don't sound good does not necessarily mean that you cannot sing. If you're singing at home, you're singing because you love the song. It touches you. You're singing something that you actually relate to. Whether you're singing in the shower or you're sitting at home cooking and you're singing in the kitchen, whether if you have kids, you might be driving your kids crazy. But you know what? You're singing and you're doing something you love. So it's a passion. Everybody has that passion. It's just whether you want to pursue that passion and make it something as a dream that you want to follow. Regardless, it's a passion, and everybody has a passion.
I agree that I've heard people who can't hit a note and they're still going to sing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's still that outpouring of them responding to the music and how they're feeling it. And that may be when you drive the kids crazy if you're tone deaf and you're singing. But what do you think about that? People who are basically say they're tone deaf and they can't hit the notes or hear the notes. Do you believe those people can learn to hit the note?
Oh, absolutely. Everybody can learn to sing. It just takes practice. For instance, me, myself, the first time I ever got on stage, oh, Lord, I was nervous. I was a nervous wreck. I got up, I was shaking like a leaf, and, when I tried to sing, and it sounded like, there was no key to it, there was no tone. And I'm sitting, with my eyes wide open, and I'm looking, oh, Lord, what am I doing? But it takes time. And over the years, I've learned, now I get on stage, and it's, it doesn't even faze me, and I practice my tones, I practice my pitches, I practice my, breathing. It just takes time. Everybody can learn to sing. Everybody can learn to play an instrument. A lot of people get frustrated. But that's the key. You can't get frustrated. You have to take your time. You have to practice. It takes practice. And, you know, for some, it may take longer to learn than others. But as long as you stick with it and you have the passion for it, it can take you places you'll never believe you can go.
Yeah, I agree with that. And with singing, like any instrument, it's the exercising of your voice, the exercising, as you were mentioning, the breathing, practicing the tones and the pitches. I haven't sang as much as I did in previous parts of my life, and I know now that I have to bump it back up if I'm going to sing, because I was trained to sing. I can read music as far as following a part, and all that. I was taught that like through church choirs and singing in groups and things like that. But, you know, to keep the tones going into pitches and hearing yourself, and keep your breathing, your diaphragm to the place where you can sustain the notes and things, that is literally an exercise.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. A lot of people, when they first start out singing, even me, you know, they didn't know, and neither myself knew how to use the diaphragm. We were straining with our voices. And there's been times, even still today, where I will straighten my vocal cords because I will, you know, get into the music, or I'll perform for several hours, and then all of a sudden I'll quit that breathing process. So we all make mistakes, you know, regardless. But yeah, you have to learn how to, you know, breathe. You have to learn how to use the diaphragm, you know, and don't strain yourself. You know, straining, you can really damage your vocal cords. I've come very close a time or two doing that. And so I've had to go back and go, okay, we got to do this again. And I'll sit at home and practice breathing and practice, you know, using my diaphragm. But there again, everybody can learn. You know, there's so many ways to learn. You can go on YouTube, Google it. You can take lessons with the actual class. It's just so many ways. And, you know, I implore everybody, you know, if you're sitting at home and you want to pursue something in music or art or whatever, anything to do with art, go for it. You know, don't put yourself down just because you feel that you're not good enough. Do it anyway. Do it anyway, because you will be surprised. The more you try and the harder you try, the better you will become, and you will actually amaze yourself. Literally.
So, you know, you maybe as a young child didn't picture yourself singing in a band and being the leader of a band. At what point did that whole vision start? You said about the first time you sang. How old were you?
Well, when I first started singing, I was probably about, I don't know, maybe 14 or 15. I was actually in a rock band. Me and a couple of my friends, we started this little rock band in a garage, and, you know, didn't do a whole lot of singing. I did a lot of guitar playing, but started doing little backups. And up in about 21, I started doing a little karaoke in the karaoke bars, and that's where I met my first wife. I was actually singing a song from Guns N' Roses called Patience. And the lady walked up to me and said, "Hey, you're pretty good," you know, and we got married about a year later. But then got out of it, but I didn't really picture myself then. I never thought, hey, you know, I'm going to be in a band. You know, I'm going to be, you know, trying to make it in music. Up until probably about 10 years ago is when I made the decision, hey, you know what? I'm going to start a band and I'm going to see how far this goes. And well, here I am.
That's so awesome, Hugh. You know, and that's your encouragement I heard you giving to people is, if you don't try, you're not going to succeed.
No, you're not going to.
What is that? Dare to be unusual. That song is make your best mistakes.
Right.
You know, if we don't, we've got nothing, and you have to take a leap.
And we are our own worst critics. So
I agree.
We are. Even myself. I'll leave here and, you know, I'll go to the house tonight and I'll sing a song and, oh man, I sounded horrible. You know, we're our own worst critics. But, you know, nevertheless, keep pushing, keep going, keep trying.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you know, like a sketchbook. One of the things I try and encourage people who want to try the arts is artists don't put out every single thing we do. We don't always have everything we do is not a piece that's presentable. And same thing with any musician or theater actor. There's the practice, the exercise, the learning curve, you know, the time put in. And there's always going to be a song maybe you write or perform that you didn't quite get it up to snuff. Now, for a musician, you're doing this live, then you got it right there. But people who want to start trying, you don't have to present this in public immediately. They can just do what they need to at home, record yourself. We have all this technology now that we didn't have back then. And you can, you know, literally review your performance and learn from that and then change and boost it. So, don't be afraid. Life is a sketchbook, and you don't have to show everybody your sketchbook.
No, and it's like a song. When I write a song, or anybody that writes a song, sometimes songwriters will stay on that one song I've known for a year before we ever produce it to anybody. There was one song that I wrote, that I thought, well, it sounds good, but something just ain't right. And I went through several months trying to tweak it and make it sound good, and I thought until I was finally satisfied. Don't get in a hurry. There again, be your own worst critic until you are finally satisfied with your own product, where you can say to yourself, hey, you know what? This sounds good to me. Once you get to that point, then put it out. And don't worry about somebody criticizing your work. There is a such thing as constructive criticism. And people will say, oh, well, you know what? That one line didn't sound good. Maybe you should change it. Don't take that as a negative statement. Take it as positive and go back home and go, okay, let's see what this guy or this girl was talking about. And then go through and look at it yourself and put yourself in their shoes. And you'll come out with the perfect product that you made. And, sooner or later, when it gets perfected, you'll put it out and people are going to love it.
Yeah, and that's so interesting because I have a couple pieces that I worked on for a couple of years, my paintings. I write poetry, and some of them could be considered lyrics, but mostly I just do a dump of poetry in a sort of a modern style. Whenever that comes up in my mind, it just happens. But with I've got 2 paintings that I have been working on for 2 years. And not every minute, not every day, not even every month. Sometimes I have to step back for 2 months and before I process what I want to do in that painting and go back to it. Mm-hmm. Same thing with music and other arts. Sometimes you have to back burner something, and that's hard.
That's right.
Because you're excited about it and something good is coming.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And there again, like I said, even if nobody likes it, or if you're too scared to show it, the most important part of it is that you're proud of yourself.
Right.
That you did something you wanted to do and that you can be proud of. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It's what you think and how you feel after you have completed what you want to do. And, and that's a good feeling, to be proud of yourself. You want to feel good about yourself. And when you complete a piece of art or a song or a piece of music, you do feel good. You walk around and you're smiling.
Yeah.
And which, if you think about it, as the old saying goes, if you smile to one person, it's going to circulate. It's going to be a domino effect. If you complete a piece of music, and let's say you are scared and don't want to show it, or you don't want to let anybody know about it, you're proud of yourself and you start smiling, and then you walk out your front door and you go to the grocery store and you're proud and you're walking around proud and you have a smile on your face. Guess what you just did? And it's all because of what you have done.
Yeah, we're sharing the positive energy. And, if you want to hear more about Hugh Allen and the Renegades, tune in a couple of minutes, because we're going to tell you how and where you can hear and see this band and go join in and have this fun. So we'll be back in just a couple of minutes to keep talking about music and art. And feel free to call in. I'll give you the number on the second half. We'll see you in a few minutes.
The Tennessee Valley's news, talk, and sports leader. Nooga Radio, AM 1240 and 92.7 FM.
You've been in a wreck. 756-6400. You've been wrongfully fired. 756-6400. A turkey is suing you out of the blue. 756-6400. Confused about a business startup? 756-6400. That's the number for you. 756-6400. Right here, right now, Chattanooga. Call now. Top flight legal help awaits. Get biz advice now. Representation to fight for your right. What are you waiting for? That's 756-6400. Don't sit on your rights. You've got remedies. Turn your tragedy into cash. You've got the solution from estate planning all the way to probate. Act now. Top attorneys in Chattanooga are waiting to help you get relief. Act now. No out of pocket. You don't pay a dime until we win. So win with us.
756-6400.
Call now. Top flight legal help awaits. What are you waiting for? That's 756-6400. Turn your tragedy into cash. Act now. No out of pocket. You don't pay a dime until we win. So win with us.
756-6400.
756-6400.
Picture that curl of steam rising from your fresh-baked pizza. And in a flash, let it take you aloft, teasing all your senses. I'm talking about Jet's Pizza. If you eat out of Jet's in Hickson, or take home your steaming deep dish square pizza, you'll love Jet's. They use only the best ingredients in the family recipe. Also try the cheesy bread, wings, chicken, or bread with bacon, antipasta or Greek salad. Jet's Pizza and buy low near the S curves. Open till 10 p.m. Sunday through Thursday and 11 p.m. Friday and Saturday. You can order online or have it delivered. jetspizza.com. That's jetspizza.com. Or call them now. They'll have it ready when you get there. 757-1616. That's 757-1616.
Jet's Pizza, the best pizza in town. 3600 Hickson Pike.
Life is short. Eat better pizza.
The Tennessee Valley's news, talk, and sports leader. Nooga Radio, AM 1240 and 92.7 FM.
3, 2, 1.
Chattanooga Radio, AM 1240 and 92.7 FM's news. Now.
A car chase that started at Sunny Daisy had a smashing end on Signal Mountain. Sunny Daisy Police Captain Jeff Gann said the two suspects, John Grant and Brent Castleberry, are accused of stealing a car. A be on the lookout was issued for that vehicle. Sunny Daisy Police chased it from Dayton Pike all the way up to Signal Mountain, where the vehicle is said to have smashed into a fence, then into a tree. The two suspects had to be rescued. They're both arrested. Stop trying lower crimes in higher court. That's what a concurrent grand jury said. There are too many misdemeanors going up to criminal court when they should be staying in general sessions. And a red or burgundy 2016 Jeep Compass has been stolen with a high point sticker in the rear. If you spot it, call 911, then call Nooga Radio. The number is 800-8949. It was taken between 6 and 8 this morning. Russell Stroud, Nooga Radio News Talk 92.7. Now.
In-depth traffic, news, and information. Mornings on Nooga Radio, AM 1240 and 92.7 FM.
Nooga Radio News Talk 92.7's fast forecast. Now. 73 degrees as we begin our morning here in Chattanooga, 83 for the high and 60 for the low. We are expecting rain to roll in our afternoon, tapering off by tomorrow morning, where tomorrow 76 is the high and 52 is the low, starting to cool down as we get to the middle of our weekend and heat up again for Saturday with 80 degrees for the high for our weekend. That's your fast forecast now.
On Nooga Radio, AM 1240 and 92.7 FM.
The Tennessee Valley's news, talk, and sports leader. Nooga Radio, AM 1240 and 92.7 FM.
Welcome back to the Art Beat at Chattanooga, where art lives. Here today talking to Hugh Allen of Hugh Allen and the Renegades.
Howdy again.
Howdy again.
Howdy again.
Got a northerner and a southerner, so
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Sometimes I forget I'm from the north and that I sound different than southerners, but Chattanooga is a wonderful city, as I talk about every week. It's a beautiful, beautiful city. There's always a ton going on in the arts here. If you could just Google Chattanooga Fun, Google the Pulse, so many things, Chattanooga Arts, you're going to find, a plethora of things to do, music, visual art theater, some really cool eclectic art things going on as well. My name is Jillian Collins, your host, and I do have a website, Vanguard Artistry, that is my artwork and my poetry. Feel free to take a look at that. I do also have work hanging downtown at the street corner market on Chestnut. About pretty large little group of my pieces there, along with some original hand-painted yoga mats for sale. So all the work down there is for sale for the next couple of weeks. So maybe you get down there and see it if you've ever been curious about what I actually do. So,
Excuse me.
you are so, yes, Hugh's coughing because you probably haven't been singing too much. So, Hugh, let's give a review here. You are a musician living in Cleveland.
Actually, I live in Benton, Tennessee, just right outside Cleveland, Tennessee. And yes, my name is Hugh Allen. The band that I have, we're called Hugh Allen and the Renegades. We're an outlaw country band. We perform a lot of your old style classic country. Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, Merle Haggard, George Jones, just to name a few. We do a little bit of Southern rock. But yeah, we're really getting out there.
And you also write some of your music.
Oh yeah, I have quite a few of my originals.
Right. So along with doing covers, you are producing original lyrics and songs, and you did perform one that brought a lot of people, I think, to tears the last time you were on the show.
Yeah.
That was a surprise because you didn't tell me that it was you. So
I'm sorry.
You know, he sang a song about a little boy whose dad went to overseas in the service and
Military.
the military. You tell it.
It's about a little boy whose dad goes overseas and is in a war, fighting overseas in the war, and tells his son, writes a letter, tells his son he's coming home real soon. But at the very end of the song, he doesn't. He makes it home, but not in the way that his son wanted him to. One day I'll perform that again on this show. I do want to do a song or two here in a little while. Another original. It tells a lot about me and about some of the truck drivers out there that are real good friends of mine. But we'll get into that here very shortly.
Yeah, because it goes fast, so we want to do that before too long.
Yes.
Where can the people who've just tuned in see you playing in the near future?
Well, we have several shows coming up. We have one September the 29th, which is going to be at the Brew and Hugh over in Rossville. It's located on Ross Boulevard, just right over the Georgia state line there on the right-hand side if you're coming from the interstate. Then on September 30th, we will be performing at the VFW in Cleveland, Tennessee. It's actually going to be for the Tennessee and Georgia football game. Go Dogs. But we're going to have fun that night, and then we will be in. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go back a little bit. September the 22nd and 23rd, we will be in Manchester, Tennessee. That's just over the Mount Eagle Mountain there. And then October 6th, we'll be at the Log Yard up in Madisonville. And then after that, I can't remember the date. I think it's the 17th, I want to say. Don't quote me on that. You can actually visit our website, www.hugallencountry.com, to check out our shows. That's hugallencountry.com, HUGHALLEN country.com. And you'll see all of our show dates on there. But yeah, everybody come out and have some, fun. Have you a couple of drinks, get on the dance floor and dance. We play a lot of good music.
You sure do, and it's a lot of fun. It's good dancing music. And, the nice thing about the area here is even if there's not someone that wants to dance with you, you can just get out there and dance. That's all cool.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And even in between set lists that we do, even between shows, we play a lot of good dance music. One of the guys that I have with me, his name is Scott Bannister. He has a really, really good selection of dance music, and he'll get you out on the floor.
Get you moving.
Oh yeah,
moving and grooving, and
absolutely.
Get your happy dance on.
So, yeah. He's got a good set list. So between the country songs, he can get you on the dance floor. So yeah, come on out and see us and have a good time.
So HughAllenCountry.com.
This is a coordinated movement test of broadcast stations in your area. Equipment to be put in the room during emergencies is being tested. If there's been actual emergency, official messages will follow the alert tone. This concludes this test of the emergency alert system.
Thanks, government. That's,
all right.
Woo, you may not have heard that on Facebook, but we had a lot of fun going on in our ears.
Yeah, we did.
So I think we passed the test because we're back.
Yeah, we did pass.
They probably
yeah.
scanned us,
Yeah, they had a satellite going over.
Yeah,
They're making sure we're legitimate.
Feel that scan, like my brain was vibrating, and I'm pretty sure that we were scanned by aliens or something.
They're coming to get us.
Oh boy,
They're coming to take us away. To the funny farm.
Yeah, I think I'm already there. So let's talk about your new song that you want to share. When did you write it? How long ago?
Well, the next song I'm going to, I did a song before when I was on the show before. The next song that I'm going to attempt to try to do, I got a dry mouth today for some reason. But it's actually a song that I co-wrote. The man that actually wrote the song, his name was Thomas Smith, and he actually wrote it, and then he gave it to me and said, "Hey, make it yours." And I went in and redone some of the lyrics and rewrote the music on it. And what it is, it's a song about a truck driver who's out on the road, and he tells his wife, calls him, "Hey, look, I've been on the road for so long, and I want to, I'll be home soon." So he tells her, "Hey, I've got a few more miles to go, but don't worry, I'm coming home."
I hope this one doesn't end up with a death.
No, it does not end up with a death.
I need to be more because live stuff, I'm live finding that out. I was like, trying not to cry, No, one thing you did not share when you told about your song about the little boy who received the flag was
that was the death. That the father died and was brought back home, and the 21 gun salute, and the little boy, got his letter out of his pocket and read it, and he read, as he was walking away from the funeral, he read what his father wrote for the last time.
Who was the little boy?
That was me.
Right.
That was me because my father was 20 years Air Force, and I had to be the one that received the folded flag. And let me tell you, if you've never been to a military funeral, you need to go see one. And I would hope that nobody actually has to experience one. We all have to experience death, but to receive a folded flag, it's. I don't like talking about it.
I can tell it's emotional. I want to put you on the spot, but it's such a powerful story that I think it helps display the heart of you as an artist. That you put that very deep experience and personal experience out there. Yes. And I can tell that it's hard for you to talk about it.
It is. It's very hard. It's nobody wants to experience death, and especially when you're sitting there and you hear the 21 gun salute, it just sends chills down your spine. And when the officer comes and hands you the folded flag and says, "I'm sorry, your father was he was an honored man."
Yeah. It gives me chills just thinking about it, Hugh. That it's a beautiful way to honor your dad's service for our country. And, thank you to all of you who are tuned in any way. If you serve in our country, and I thank you, personally, because it's a huge task and not something I can understand because I've never done it, but I appreciate all of you giving to our country. And, Hugh's song, if you haven't heard it, do you have that on your website?
I believe so. Yes, you just have to go through the videos. The name of the song is "Dad Loves You," and it is on the website. I do believe. There again, I have someone covering the website, so I haven't been to it personally in the last couple of days, but I do believe it's on there. The name of it is "Dad Loves You," and I implore you to check it out. It's a really good song.
So you can go to HughAllenCountry.com and look for "Dad Loves You," and if you're a service individual in this country, this song will really touch your heart. Even if you're not, it touches your heart. But it honors the servicemen and women in our country.
Exactly.
So what's the other song you want to sing? Let's switch venues here and hear about the truckers.
Well, the next song, the song that I'm going to perform, it's about, like I said, I've been a truck driver for about 17 years now. I've been all over the country. I've been on the road. I love being on the road, although I do have, custody of my son, so I can't be on the road anymore. But, there was a time that I'd be out on the road and, my son would have something going on at school, or, my ex-wife would have something going on that, like a holiday, and I couldn't be home, because when you're a truck driver and you're out there on the road, you're at the mercy of the highway and you're at the mercy of the company you work for, and I'd be 3,000 miles away, trying to get home. There were a lot of times I couldn't get home. So there was a lot of things that I missed in my son's life and in my kid's life, my daughter's, and even in my ex-wife's life, excuse me. And when I heard this song, I first heard it, from the guy that wrote it, I thought, wow, that's me. I want that song. And I asked him, I said, can I please take that song and make it my own and change it around and do the, redo the music? And he said, go for it. And I did. I made it my own. And a lot of people love it. I have a friend of mine, his name is Casey Crittenton, who also owns CNC Auto. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you need good auto service, if you've got problems going on with your vehicle, I really implore you to go to CNC Auto on Facebook. His name is Casey Crittenden. He's the owner, and he does exceptional work. He actually has a deal going on, 20% off for military personnel. And he's got really good specials going on. I implore you to go to his site. There again, it's on Facebook, CNC Auto. And he loves this song. He asked me, he's one of my dedicated followers, you know, or the band's dedicated followers. He comes to all of our shows, and he tells me all the time, he said, man, I love that song. I love that song.
Well, let's hear it, Hugh.
All right.
Let's hear this song.
We're going to do it.
It's so fun when we have on the Heartbeat of Chattanooga, we get to play some music because we are a talk station, but on the Heartbeat of Chattanooga, we have been able to have some music, and Kofi Mowaku, who played the drums, and this is the second song Hugh is going to play for us on the station. So,
all right, here we go. Some clouds roll on in right about midnight, and as the rain starts to fall from the sky, well, they roll down the windshield like 1,000 teardrops. It's like heaven knows my pain and starts to cry. When I think about my baby and all the nights I'm gone, you know her love keeps me going all night long. So I call her from a payphone outside of Nashville, and she says, honey, when you think you're coming home? And I said, honey, I got a few more miles to go. You know I gotta keep on traveling down this road, and the job won't be done till I deliver the boss man's load. But I keep pressing on. But I want you to know that I've only got a few more miles to go, and I'll be home soon, just a few more miles to go. So I hang up the phone and I wipe the tears. You know there's so much I've missed through the years, but I keep pushing on. You know there's bills to pay, and I just have to load my baby another day. But until that time, there's only one thing to say. You know I gotta keep on traveling down this road, and the job won't be done till I deliver the boss man's load. But I keep pressing on. But I want you to know that I've only got a few more miles to go, and I'll be home soon, just a few more miles to go. And I love you, baby, just a few more miles to go.
Woo, very nice, very nice, Hugh. So that song is definitely going to reach a lot of guys that are on the road.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yep. So beautiful song, and you know, performed with a lot of Emotion.
A lot of emotion, a lot of story behind it. I apologize. I made a little mistake there. I got carpal tunnel a little bit in my hand from driving and shifting, so I couldn't make the chord.
See, as an artist, we never have to say we made a mistake.
Well, no, we don't.
But, ignore it.
We don't. But hey, it happens every now and then. So, but yeah, that song there is dedicated to all the truck drivers out there who are out on the road and who miss their loved ones and can't make it home to them. You know, a lot of husbands call their wives, you know, and they miss them, you know, being out on the sleeper by yourself. You know, you think a lot about the, you know, being at home. You want to be at home. You want to be with your kids. You want to be with your wives. But, you know, sometimes you just can't because somebody has to do the job. You know, we have to move the freight. We have to stock the stores, you know, because if you think about it, everything that is in your home, a truck delivered it. A truck brought it. You know, and it's just like the military. We all, you know, somebody has to do the job, and that's what we do. So.
Yep. So you sacrifice to, you know, it's a good earning for one thing.
Oh yes.
But you do sacrifice time with family.
Exactly.
And I know musicians who travel also do that.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, you have to travel. You go on tour, and sometimes you're not with your family because of that.
No.
So, but that was a great song. And
well, thank you.
Is there anything else that's going on with you that you want to share with your followers? You've had a lot of good responses going on here on your Facebook feed.
Yeah, and I appreciate all my fans out there. You guys are so awesome. You know, y'all support me and the band, and you know, there again, y'all support my guys, and my guys support me, and I support them. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here. You know, I've got an exceptional group of guys. All you fans out there that, you know, support us, you know, follow us, comment. You know, if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be here. I mean, we really wouldn't. And I love each and every one of you, and you all are in my thoughts. You're in my prayers. You're in my heart and soul. I just love all of you. You know, and I really appreciate you following us and supporting us, and I hope you continue to do so, because as long as everybody continues to follow us and support us, and, you know, we're going to continue to push forward, you know, because we're going to achieve that ultimate goal, and that is to be the best we can be.
There you go. You know, and it's a fun goal because along with all this, you're getting to sing, which is your passion. You're getting to give people joy, you know, and that just feeds the whole passion cycle of an artist.
Oh, absolutely.
When we're received and our energy reaches another person in a positive way, that's so important.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, it's great. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, you know, I'm also I guess you could say a whiskey drinker, country boy. So, you know, I do it all. I get out there on the road and I love it, you know, and there again, you know, a lot of our songs that we do are the whiskey drinking songs, and you know, there's nothing wrong with getting out there having a good time. And as long as we can provide a good time for everybody and provide music for everybody, that's the main thing. I want to throw somebody else out there, a guy named Shane McCoy. I don't know if you know the Hatfield McCoys. I'm pretty sure you heard the story, but I got a friend out there that's got a new kind of product out. It's called Shane McCoy's Underground Ride. It's a product that we hope to get down here in Southeast Tennessee. Check him out on Shane McCoy. He's on Facebook. You can check out his product. We're hoping to get that. He's one of our sponsors, along with Casey Crittenden with CSC Auto. He's one of our sponsors. You know, so we're getting up there. We're getting pretty big.
That's exciting. You know, when you start getting sponsors and people are behind you, that is definitely a couple steps up in helping your band to be more noticed, have the ability to put yourselves out there more. And also, you know, thank you to sponsors who sponsor artists, shows like mine, and all of that. There's a lot of sponsorship in Chattanooga for like Nightfall and this sort of thing. So, you know, I'm glad you have that kind of support going on, Hugh.
Absolutely.
Do you have any new songs that you're writing right now?
We're in the midst of writing a couple of songs. I don't want to give them out right now. Actually, a couple of them is from rhythm guitarist. He's actually a songwriter as well. His name is Gary Rose. Exceptional man. I call him Dad because he's like a father to me, because I lost my father many years ago, and he's like a father to me. But he is probably one of the most exceptional songwriters I've ever had the pleasure of meeting. And we're actually going through a lot of archives of his songs and going through and getting them. and we're going to turn them into something that we can use and work with, and we're going to put them out there. You know, all my guys are exceptional. You know, Tim Stennett, my lead guitarist, Ike Evans, my bass, Scott Bannister, the drummer. You know, we all have really good ideas, and we're putting our heads together. And, you know, we're going to be coming up with a lot of new songs, and we're going to be bringing out new cover songs, you know, from a lot of the good country legends. So, you know, stay tuned with us and stay with us and keep following us, because, you know, the more we progress, the better we're going to become. And we're just going to have an exceptional, wonderful time and just party down.
There you go. You know, that's the really fun thing about it is your music is fun. It's fast. And I personally believe that adding in songs that the band members write will also help catapult you beyond anything else, because the creativity and the originality of writing your own songs, to me, it's just something I always love to hear with a band. Because I feel like, yes, they're sharing the covers that we've all grown up with and loved, but we're creating new music to also love.
Exactly. And, you know, it's not just about our band as well. I'd like to throw out a couple out there that I've actually been able to experience.
We got about 19 seconds, Hugh.
All right, let me go through them real quick. No One Special. They're playing up in Cleveland. You got Tyson Lehman and the White Line Drifters. Southern Drawl, Southern Attitude, Bad Tattoo are a lot of the good bands that you guys need to go see. So if you're out and about, support local music.
There you go. Support local music, support the Heartbeat of Chattanooga. Get out into Chattanooga, enjoy this beautiful city, and go see Hugh Allen and the Renegades at HughAllenCountry.com. You can see what's happening with them. Thank you so much, Hugh.
Yes, ma'am. Have a great day.
Enjoyed your song and enjoyed you being a guest here. Y'all have a great day. I love you.
News and information. Mornings on Nooga Radio, AM 1240 and 92.7 FM.